Welcome to KS Outdoors. I'm Kurt Shookman.
I'm Jimmy Meyer.
And this week we're going down to the Rockin' K Ranch to hunt some exotics in Atascosa County. With whitetail season being over, it pretty much just leaves exotic hunting to do. And on this ranch, they have a wide variety of exotics, such as red deer and capybara, but we're going to focus all our attention on axis bucks. There's big bucks down here, folks, but they come in all different shapes and sizes, such as tine length. Some have heavy horns and mass. Some have a wide spread. Some even have extra kickers and points. But we're just going to be happy if we can get a wall hanger for Jimmy, and anything that comes out we'll be satisfied with. Isn't that right, Jimmy?
That's right. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to go harvest a big old axis buck. I've shot a few axis does. I've been hunting all different kind of animals, but I've never had an opportunity to shoot a big axis buck. So I'm looking forward to it. Really don't care a lot about width, any particular thing about the antlers, but I would like to have a good one. I had a trophy room. I think it's something I've always wanted. They're a good looking animal on the wall, and looking forward to the opportunity.
Well, hopefully we can add another animal to your trophy room. We're not going to take anything small, but if something big comes out, we're sure as hell take it. But before we get the hunt started, folks, we're going to get a little bit more in depth on axis deer and pass on a little bit of knowledge to you about what they look like and what to expect from this hunt. So stick with us and we'll get this hunt started. First, let's talk a little bit about the axis deer. They're from India. They're very pretty animals. They got a brown hide with white spots. That's to help them out in the jungles, to give them some camouflage from predators. They're very tasty. Some of the best venison you can find. A lot of hunters will say hands down it's the best eating that there is. Here's give you an idea of what their typical racks look like. These are axis are typically 3x3. This will give you an idea. This is a wall hanger right here, about 34 inches. Anything over 30 is considered a wall hanger, folks, and 36 and up is considered trophy. So this is what they look like. They can come in different shapes and sizes with mass, width, tine length, just like any other kind of animal. Every now and then you'll find some bucks that have multiple points. This one has 4 on one side. They can have 5, 6, just depending on genetics and protein. So hopefully we can see one of these big boys with all the points come out today and put Mr. Jimmy on one of them.
Give it a shot, see what we end up with.
So we're going to head out to the stand right now and see what comes out. First part of our hunt took a lot of patience before we saw any signs of life. Finally, we found an odd couple of a young stag and a capybara coming in for a quick snag. It wasn't too much longer that a mature stag and his harem came and made their presence known. All while it was nice to see, we were still waiting on those big axis bucks we were told about to arrive. I'm Kurt Shookman with KS Outdoors. I hope you're enjoying our show. We got an exciting hunt going on here, folks. So please stick with us. We're going to take a short break to get some messages from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Shortly after the does arrived, a group of mature bucks brought up the rear of the herd. These bucks were in all phases of antler development, ranging from new growth velvet to rubbing out, and from hard horn to dropping antlers. Finally, it looked like we may have an opportunity to harvest one of these wall hangers. Oh, there's a hard one right behind those pines. He's in the very back. Or is... Oh no, that's that one that's rubbing out. What do you think, Mr. Jimmy? What's looking good to you?
Yeah, they all look good to me. Which one do you think is a good one, Gart?
Well, I think that one that's kind of rubbing out is kind of nice. And there's a couple other ones in velvet that are real big. So it just comes down to what you like and what presents a shot. Finally, we set our sights on a mature buck that was in velvet and had some heavy antlers. By harvesting this buck, who had been passing on his genetics to the herd for years, would now ensure a younger buck who was able to enter a different set of genes into the population. Started to get pretty frustrating because that velvet horn buck would never present us with a shot. I could tell that patience was wearing thin with Jimmy, knowing that it would be a while with all the traffic that was out there. These deer were 3 and 4 bodies deep, which let us know that we better take advantage of the first mistake that buck makes, because we may not get a second opportunity.
This is Jimmy with KS Outdoors. We'll be right back here in a few minutes after a word from our sponsors. We got the conclusion of an axis hunt coming on, and it's what you guys been waiting for. See you in a few minutes.
If that doe moves behind him, he's got his neck twisted, you see him?
Are they the closest ones to us?
Yeah, it's the closest one to you. And there's a doe right off his hind quarter.
Right.
Now she's right in front of him.
That's the one you're filming?
Yes, sir. Because he's heading left and everything else is heading right.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Right there?
Right there. That's the air tagged one. There's a doe in front of us. Okay, she's moving in front of him. He's twisting. If he gives a broadside shot, take it. Okay.
There we go. trying so hard to not get a shot where I shot something else, you know. They were lining up like dominoes.
All right.
Kurt.
Good job. Good job. So how's it feel?
We'll find out here in just a minute.
Well,
He looked like a big old animal, didn't he?
yes, sir. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I hope not.
Oh, man.
Need to get a bigger gun if he goes somewhere. How many do you think you got?
Well, we definitely got the whole herd on film. And we finally singled out one, and Mr. Jimmy finally put the round where it needed to go. So we'll wait here a little bit, folks, and then we'll go check out his buck.
They were all pretty even as far as size of all the bigger ones. Not very many of them were in hard horns. A lot of them had velvet.
And do you want to explain a little bit about the hard horn? Or?
Your axis deer can be hard horn any time of the year. They don't come into a rut just on a particular time of the year like your whitetails do. You end up with different herds will have more axis deer that have hard horns at one particular part of the year than another. But on any given ranch, you might have some that have, like we seen here a while ago, we had some mature deer that already lost their horns. We had some mature deer growing their horns with short horns on them. Had a few of them in this herd with some hard horn. But most of them in this herd, the mature deer, were in the velvet. And you never know exactly when you go axis hunting what you're going to end up seeing. A lot of times I've gone axis hunting, and the majority of the bucks just had short, new growth horns on them. So that was kind of neat seeing a bunch of these deer that were finishing the growing season instead of just starting it.
So this is your first big buck and
First big axis
buck. I'm not giving you the credit. I'm sorry.
I've shot, I don't know, 3 or 4 axis does before, but that's the first buck I shot.
And this one will eat even better than them does, huh?
We'll find out. We'll find out.
There he is, Jimmy. All right. Nice buck. Big body buck, folks. Jimmy put the crosshairs right where he's supposed to put them. Buck didn't run too far and took a roll, got back up, crashed down right here in the brush. He's still in velvet, very soft. Looks like he's trying to put on a 4th point on this right side. And a lot of meat here for the freezer.
Good looking deer.
Man, he's got some good mass up here.
Well, I can't say I don't have an axis buck anymore. Hope
you had some adrenaline pumping there when we were caught in the middle of a feeding frenzy right outside the blind, and we finally got this guy singled out. Jimmy took the shot, and right here's the results, folks. Well, Jimmy, why don't you explain what you took him down with? And
shooting a 7mm STW and a Model 70 Winchester. It's been accurized shooting hand loads with a 140 grain ballistic tip in it. And used it for hunting all kind of game. Shot lots of stuff with it, flat shooting. I've been all over the world with it. I enjoy it. It's pretty much big enough to shoot anything I want to shoot in America with it. I enjoy it. And big old animal like this, and it doesn't have any problem with them.
Well, you just saw what Jimmy and Jimmy's rifle can do here. He got the accuracy that he needed and the knockdown power as well, and got a good quick kill on this buck. So we're gonna get him back to the cleaning station and start the fun part.
It won't take us long.
Won't take us long, but we got a lot of meat right here to start hacking on. And
There'll be axes for Christmas this year.
Christmas dinner, huh?
You bet.
Well, you'll have a few Christmas dinners with this one, I'll tell you that much. But we'll get this pretty hide all cleaned up and send him on his way to the taxidermist and get a good old shoulder mount for the wall.
You bet. Looking forward to it.
So, congratulations again.
Thank you, Kurt. Enjoyed it.
You saw it here, folks. The hunt started off pretty slow, but persistence and patience paid off. We were kind of concerned if we were actually going to see any big bucks with this drought that we've been in, but once they finally made an appearance, we knew we were on to some good-looking animals that were in good shape.
When the mature deer started coming out, we've seen a couple deer with hard horns that were damn sure good-looking deer. 4 or 5 of them had velvet on them, big old deer, some of them wider than others, all good mass. And it was kind of tough to pick one out that we thought would fit the bill because they all looked good sitting in the stand.
Yeah, they all look good, and basically it came down to a personal preference for Jimmy.
Picked one that had velvet on it. I've always had a soft spot for a mount on the wall that's got velvet on it. Picked one that had velvet on it, and he looked like he was kind of getting off to the side there where he'd give us an opportunity to shoot. So we kind of concentrated on him a little bit.
So once he separated from the rest of the herd, Jimmy went ahead and took his shot, ended up with the buck that he wanted and was happy with, and it looks like you finally got that.
He's going to look good on the wall.
There you go.
He's a good deer. He ended up measuring right at 34 inches on both sides, real symmetrical. Good, solid mass all the way from one end to the other. If it counts, had a little bit of extra point on one side there. I tell you what, tickled to death. Couldn't have a better hunt. Thank you, Kurt. Enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. So Jimmy got the buck that he wanted and walked away from Rocking K Ranch with a good mount. And we hope you enjoyed this hunt, and we hope to see you next week with KS Outdoors.